this week we review the definition and some history and web, what is information, what is science, anything. So today class we will review the society. So the information society meaning is to some blood and fuel in the society. Information is to main item consist of the society. So some society is connected by the information, even if the society consists of the people. But basically, above all, the people as well as for information. That's why some James Craig definition for information society. You see that we can see now that information is what our world learns on. Learns on is sometimes one word learn on as meaning is the edit. Add something, learn on. Add something. But this is what our world learns on. Is how to learn our world. So the information is the blood and the fuel, main power. Also viral principle. Also the other Lucasio Floridi defined the information society. We are so familiar with the talk of the information society, very similar, very familiar there. But we sometimes forget there is no such things, but rather a multitude of societies unlike from each other, some of which may qualify as information ones in different ways and degrees. So even if we know the information, but there's several kind of different ways and degrees. So ways means is how to approach it. Degree means is hierarchy. So some people, for example, this is for society hierarchy. So workers, manager, senior manager, and chief people, something like that. So each state have different information. So workers very narrow information. But the manager has a little bit more important information needed. And the senior manager is also a little bit more deep and wide information. The CEO is to control all the information in the group or society or the systems. So how to approach the information? This is several kind of ways and degrees. It means each degree. It's hierarchy. Ways is different way. So this is for information society, how they consist or learn something. So since the late 20th centuries, it became a commonplace for commentators to declare that we are living in an information society. Now we are living in the information society, as you know that. So today we will first consider the nature, information society nature, and or criteria. So today we will review the nature of information society and the criteria of information society. Okay, so we will look at that. Some of the frameworks and the infrastructure who's supportive. Some of problems and issues which is brings to in society. The second one is, let me show it, understanding and information society. How do we understand the information society? Information society is not a recent phenomenon. It's a very long time consists of them. So it would be reasonable to say that the information society emerged in Bronze Age. You know, the Bronze Age. It's a very, very long time ago. These Asians also, they have some communication and records. As you know, there's some pictures, the written communication in the rock, something. So they, even if the Bronze Age is very long history, they have some introduction of written communication or records, as you know. The contributors identify origins of our present information society in the early 20th century. However, we tend to think of the development inside information society as synonymous of a widespread digital information society. So we are confusing using the synonymous word, information society or digital information system, the same meaning. So while the information used has been the pictures of all historical society in our current situation of hyper history. Hyper, what's the meaning? What it's not, you cannot find this word in the dictionary. Hyper history. Hyper and history. Two words combined, one word, but it's not registered in the dictionary. So hyper history meaning is the information and the communication technology defines our society as rooted in the infosphere. Infosphere. Also say info. Also, this infosphere is the same. Information, initial, and sphere is combined word, but also this word you cannot find in the dictionary. So infosphere means is the information, some kind of aspect in the impact in the society or aspect is infosphere. And hyperhistory means is hyper is very high density in the history. It means it's very strong effect in the society. So hyperhistory, infosphere is two kind of method and approach ways. So we will think about the consider more details. There are a number of different criteria by which we may recognize and define information society. So there are many kind of the researchers consider their very detailed analysis. So first time is type of information society. How do we approach the information society? What kind of types? What kind of types of information society? First is economic information. Economic information society is one is most of economic activity and wealth of society is based on intangible. You know the intangible asset. example, I have some patent, I have some techniques, experience. Intangible asset means it's no shape. We cannot see that, cannot touch it. Intangible asset. So if you consists the corporation, is very important thing is intangible assets. Intangible assets is technique, patent, knowledge, experience, all of them is included. So intangible, because it's an economic information society is intangible. Also information-based goods. So some kind of products is consist of information-based products. Manufacture and agriculture. Manufacture and agriculture is a very simple methodology of the products, but the information-based good is different. So we mentioned that the economic information society is one of the types of information society. Okay, so this point build several kind study of scholars, something information economics definition, but the most active is occurs in economy, information society, representative. Example is G7. You heard this ground 7. So United Kingdom, United States, Italy, Japan, and French. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. French, Italy, German. Which one more? Canada. This is G7. This is very greatest information society. First, nowadays is added the EU, European Union units. So first time G2, G7. Nowadays we say the G22 or something. So added country, and at that time, early 20th centuries, they consist of the information society is G7 countries. Nowadays, first EU. European unity is also addition to that. This style, we say the economic information society. And second type of the information society, we say the occupational information society. Occupational means it's a job. It's the most people are employed information workers. So, but this may be defined, the viewpoint or pointed in the 1960s or something earlier by the American sociologist, but Daniel Bell is pioneered. He's frontier. It's occupational information society. This is a post-industrial society. At that time, he defined this kind of society. He said the post-industrial society, and developed, and several decades after that, 1990s, his knowledge society. First time they started a post-industrial society, and then 3 decades later, 1990s, they defined the society, namely the economic and knowledge society. So, and then they extend this non-information occupational works, increasing knowledge-based 1990s, and so this is developed post-industrial society. finally, they define the occupational information society. And third type of information society is technological. Technological information society. So this type is to define the information society, which kind. Economic is very wide and defined approach there. The occupation is a little bit narrow for technician, industry, something, and knowledge. And technologically combined, joined, or participated in society. So we are definitely defined very narrow society. Naming is technological information society. It is one of the built around that depend upon widespread ICTs. Information communication technology. So information and communication technology is ICTs. We are very widespread information and communication technologies. So this is for initial IT. There are many kinds of ICT technology as they define that. But the problem is to determine what counts as an information technology and how much of this there must be created information sources. So even if the information and the communication technology, so how do they count as the information technology? Because this is intangible assets, intangible idea. Also, the what count of the what counts, how much they create the information technology, information society. So nowadays, the digital infrastructure, particularly access of a broadband and a digital device, can readily to measure. Nowadays, a little bit approach for among technological counts is using the digital infrastructure is to mathematical methodology accept that, and then they calculate and count. So nowadays, how do we measure or count and how much that through the three keys using the social media. Social media some of the count for technological information society and e-commerce. E-commerce is also can count for information, technological information society, and also e-government. Three key components can count technological information society. As you know that it's a social media, how many days social media and how many people using the social media, and then this is technological society, and we can compare each country or each society. Also the e-commerce, how many people using the e-commerce? It is using the technological. So in the country, how many people using the e-commerce and how much volume for trade between the country, and then the social information society is very developed or compared to better than other countries. E-government is also same thing. E-government is to the associations is compared the e-government thing. So three key aspects is defined technological information society evaluation. And the fourth information society divide is political information. Same as the technological information society, the political information society is to information and ICT issues become the subject of political debate and of action at local or national or international levels. The political debates can issues or actions of local issue or national issues or international issues. Each level is different approach that the political information society. Also, there are some problem of the how much debate is necessary, even if this local or country or international. But the problem is to society. I know this school also. Every university have society, introduction to society or introduction to social or something. It's a very basic of general education. So they comment how much debate is necessary for political information, and then we define the society. This is a local society or national society or international level of society or something like that. So also another problem is whether the political attention needs to be positive. So information is affected mostly positive situation, but some cases negative situation in society. So nowadays in the election time in the United States, Biden or Trump. So, for example, the Trump is very highly or technically using the society. So it means is he can use the some negative information style. So, for example, the day some anniversary and then in the Washington D.C. they compare the Obama and the Trump population. So Obama president's ceremony is very big peoples coming to join the ceremony in the Washington D.C. But Donald Trump's time, there are very scarcely people only in front of them. So the reporters is to compare the two pictures. But the Donald Trump is not accepted. Only he says the new meaning, how to say, social or something idea is to, he said, alternative fact. It means this word is not shows in the dictionary. Alternative facts. What is fact? Fact means is actual picture. But the Obama's ceremony is very crowded people there. But Donald Trump is very scarcely people in their pictures. The pictures is facts. But he said, I am better than ceremony from the better than the Obama ceremony, and I am more powerful and more approach the peoples. But the reporters asked him, the picture fact is not. But Trump says, you are wrong, you are fake guys, and then he said, this is for alternative facts. Alternative means is I choose only me. I can choose only. And then if I choose that, this is fact. You know what I'm saying? and then the reporters accept or not. But some reporters accept that. Nikkei or something like that. The Fox Sports, Fox TV, they accept that. So he make new concept words, alternative fact. Even if this is not fact, even if this picture is fact, but this picture is not positive for me, and then he convert the fact, and then he said these things is alternative facts. Also in the information societies, very useful word this one. So even if we have same information society, but the people can use the different way. For example, this Donald Trump. This style is political information society. So they mentioned that government and more powerful individuals have engaged in the censorship and propaganda since written communication become widespread. So the fact picture is very scarcely people join that. Before that time, the Donald Trump using the pictures convert to fake fact, and then he defined alternative fact or something like that. So later, these alternative fact or more negative fact or more hidden fact is become a widespread things. This is political information society. So we think these things should be counted as a progress towards an information society. What's your idea? Depends on you. Depends on me. Nowadays is very difficult things for define that. In the United States, Republican and Democratic Party and Republican Party. So even if the Republican members, they say this at this time the old party is the Republican Party is not a party. Only Trump Party, Democrat, it's okay. Continue and keep going. Their propaganda. So traditionally, Democratic Party issues growth. Traditionally, Republican Party main issues growth. But the other hand, the Democratic Party main issues is distributed. It means, for example, the graph, this is time, this is growth. But the people wants to economic growth because I want money in my pocket. So, Republican Party only choose the growth, okay? In the times, growth. That's why Republican Party for free market, the free market. Also, Republican Party leaders protect the owners, the capital, something like that. Because if the government, also their small government, is to they don't want to charge or control the corporation, and then corporation have some free market. So Republican Party's focused small government and very freely market, and then they can make some job opportunity, and then the country grows. This is the Republican Party main issues. They are so focus is growth. But the Democratic Party focus the distribution. Distribution means is if focus the growth and then the poor become more poor, richer become more richer. So how can we make the small gap for rich and poor? Because it's why the countries exist in the society. So Democratic Party focus distribute. So the Democratic Party's push was some regulation and some power to corporation and also engage the tax problem, and the richers can charge for more tax, and then the government distributes the all people. They focus make small the gap between rich and power. So the country, this is also not problem. This is for idea problem. So first growth and distribute, growth, distribute, growth, distribute, passing the time. So most country follow this style. This is a democratic, not democratic party. This is democratic developed society or nation. But in our country, I'm origin is Korean. So in the Korean is style. This is a very big problem in the society. If especially the gap in the rich and poor. So even if the most of Asian community, Asian countries same style. Also, some countries growth first time very democratic style and pushed all the pushed this time. Why? There are some very big problems in the society, in the national. It's each different country. But anyway, basic concept is Republican Party focus the growth. Democratic Party focus district, and then they are conquered or have authority is step by step. They are following timing, and nowadays is this regulation or some patterns is destroyed. But the reason is that for 4 years ago in Donald Trump's. So at this time, this graph is collision style. So nowadays, somebody says in the United States have no more democracy. No more. This is only democratic and Donald Trumpism. That's it. Very big problem nowadays. Okay. Anyway, this style is we say the political information society. So also, for example, it's a network. Network society belongs in the political. Okay. Anyway, this network society belongs to political society. Also, they are theoretical. Theoretical information society. So this is my main guide to practical action is abstract theoretical knowledge recorded in document rather than a tradition, experience, and tactic knowledge. So these things focus the knowledge. theoretical knowledge based on. The theoretical information society is consist by the theoretical knowledge base. So this society, we mentioned that the document society. This is not a network. This is for example, this is network. Focus that using that is document. And then theoretical information society using the document based on the knowledge base technical knowledge. But the political information society is using the, for example, the network. It's a little bit different. And the finally summary is this type of information society is the open society. Very important. Open society. Widely open. This is even if the document or more network or technical knowledge or job kind of that or economic style, political style. Anyway, the information society should be open society because it's open society meaning is nowadays very widely can using real-time information, so every people all over the world, every hierarchy peoples, every position, we are widely open in society. So keyword in the information society, we should be open society. Okay, and the information society infrastructures, kind of the infrastructures, or consist of information society. Next week, last week, 10th week, so this quarter. So I have class on moving from Tuesday to Wednesday because it's I know the service guys is coming to school for site visit, but don't worry about that. Only you have to stand, participate in your class, attend the class. That's it. But no, you don't worry about that. But only you guys need for sitting here. So the Wednesday, the service site visit team is coming. Team, one guys or two guys coming. Huh? Next Wednesday. So also don't worry about that. Anyway, this is sitting here for I think he is coming inside and just see, that's it. And most of them is documenting the office work. So don't know about that. Any you sit in here, that's all. Okay. So also next week is the last class of this quarter. So later next week we will review the future of the information society or information or society, something like that. It's to future's problem or future's homework or something like that. Okay, it's that also is finally I summarize this quarter information science. Okay, don't worry about that anyway, but you have to sit in here if you have time. Information society infrastructures. Also, the national and international policies have a major effect in determining the form of information society, the part of the world affected by that. So, national government and international bodies have the power to enact the law and regulation which provide the framework for information society. This kind of control of the nature of IP, in progress, information progress, and copyright, and data protection and privacy, freedom of information and censorship in any region. It means it's very widely spread, real time, because it's IT. But the problem is today, you heard the news, you guys, the phone you have your hands, and AT&T is not connected now. Maybe this afternoon they can open the problem. The problem is they don't know what kind of problem, the AT&T technician. So, but they said it's not AT&T problem, it's another problem. But I'm not sure that. Anyway, this is very impactful, the stock price of AT&T. AT&T is very powerful majority of the international service, the phone service. Now is can using that or not, I'm not sure. But this afternoon, you can use that, AT&T. But my case is I'm Verizon, so I'm not impacted there. Anyway, AT&T is problem today, but problem is they don't know what kind of problem. Okay, anyway, you have to know what is the information and what is society, and what is the combined information society, because these things we deal with information science. So you heard lots of smart city, informational city, lots of words in the new words, but okay, problem is that if we approach to the information or some governmental agency or some philanthropic foundation, it is very friendly to people. So OSI means is open system interconnection. Open systems interaction is reference model for how applicants communicate or network. It's a communicate network. So these things affected information society. That's all. So I introduced the technical infrastructure of information society comprised the ICT. I said ICT is information communication technology. So ICT development index. So we say this IDI. IDI is information ICT development index. ICT is information communication technology. So ICT Development Index is the International Technology Union pursue these things for information technology. So ICT Development Index of the International Telecommunication Union. This is for design the measure of the level and progress over time of ICT. When we are using the information and communication technology, and then how do they measure the level and progress over time. So it's developed and developing countries, ICT development. See? So digital divide, not digital divide. You have it, digital divide. Digital device, remote divide. So this is for measure that the ICT using level. So at this time we say ICT development index. So even if you guys have the digital device, but each people have used different level. So between the countries, between the people, in terms of their level of ICT development index. Also development potential. Some people want to be potential for using a lot ICT. Okay? So this is for extent to countries can make use them to enhance growth and development. So the government push to the people and some companies for develop the potential, and then the IDI is increased. It means it's information and communication technology development index is increasing, means it's widely open to information to guys and share the information real time thing. Also the other using is indicators. It's about ICT readiness, ICT capability, ICT use. It means ICT, most people use ICT. And readiness. Readiness means infrastructure and access. And the capability. Capability means skills. Even if we are widely open to very high technology in your phone, but some people can use it, some people cannot use it. When I was using my personal computer and notebook, for example, the HWP, using the word system, the HP is developed word process, and how much do you using the all technology in the HWP word system? Excuse me. Some reports shows that the average below 50%, even if they have very powerful technology in the word process. But most people cannot use the perfect 100%. So it means is I want to very narrow area, or I need these things enough. But every people charge for 500 buying for word processing. But the people can use their only 100 bucks. Another people is 200 bucks, something like that. You guys are using the washer in your home. But the washer is very different style and different technology in there. You can use the old technology in washer? Absolutely no. Some people using the 100% skills in washing machine. But some people only using very narrow area, because what is the different level. Even if the washing machine is same price in the Home Depot or some Amazon, same price. But this is for utility. In the economics, the business and econs, we're using this index, we can say the utility. Even if we buy the washing machine for $499 from Home Depot, from Amazon, from Walmart, it doesn't matter. But this washing machine can use the some people only 50% using the technology or skills. Some people is 40%. Some people only 35% using the technology and skills in the washing machine. And so even if they are using the 35, 40%, 50%, but they charge the same price. What's the difference? Later, just my idea. Only 35 guys wants to buy only $359, even if the same washing machine. I don't want to more complex or difficult function. I don't need that. And then the company charge only $255. This one is only $329, or 50% only $25, something like that. So later, even if buy some same washing machine, I don't want to more complex or difficult function to washing machine. I charge only. It's different, even if same machine, because it's nowadays why they don't using this style. This is revenue, profit. The company don't touch this because they want to get the money. Even if they are using the more complex skills or technology, they charge it. This is a very big problem for the recent futures. Even if the information is widely open and more real time or something like that, but sometimes I think this information is very narrow approach to each people. Even if I want to know the high technology in my computer, but any other things I don't know. I don't need that, but I have to buy this. This is for another big problem in the future. Let's move that. The social informatics. Informatics is some information science. It's informatics. So I say this metrics such as the information and communication technology development index. This is IDI. It's a very simple quantitative assessment of the extent. Also is to degree, to nature, and information society. So we can more assessment is given by the discipline of social informatics. So in the society, sociology deals with the social informatics. So the science, information science, how do information science affected in society through the information? This is social informatics. Nowadays they are very main item in sociology. This is for social informatics. And also the other approach is pathologies. Pathology means is the reason or cause of the disease. This is for pathologies of information society. So even if we are using or real-time same information, but is afflicted by the number of information problem or pathologies, means is something negative effect of information society. This is for pathologies in the information society. We have to think about these things also. The first thing is, for example, information poverty. Poverty means very poor. Some people, some countries, some levels They don't have their information poverty and digital divide. So it means that we are very high versioning phone system, but nowadays in the Africa or some South America is using on the portable phone nowadays. It's different story. Anyway, the information poverty has been understood in the various ways that very kind of the ways that the understanding. So first thing is some lacking money, very poor money to pay for information. Also, as living in the region where access to information source are limited, so some areas very narrow, limited information source there, or living under the government which deliberately restrict access to information, something like North Korea and some Russian and Chinese. It's very restrict information, or the lacking the basic education or the information literacy necessary to use range of information resources. So some people cannot approach the real information or the very narrow information. Totally, we say these things, information poverty, very poor thing. Also, digital device, or device. This is very poor money. So also this digital inclusion and exclusion are also using for the same idea. Okay? But the device has been identified between the developed and the developing worlds. Already developed, and now developing world is different between sentiments, Asian and some or regional countries, between rural and urban area. This divide is generally taken to be between those that access digital resource, money to pay for them, ability to use these things affected information poverty. Also generational device. This one is so between generation, the information society has been suggested between generation. It means each generation has different from company or societies, different idea or different information environment. These things is a generation device. It's also a poor information between the people. And the information overload and anxiety. Information overload and anxiety means is some information is infoglut. It's not word in the also cannot show us in the dictionary. This is for information. And glut. Glut means is oversupply. The phenomenon of information overload is known as many different names, including infogluts, data smog. You some experience that data smog. Infogluts, this is oversupply. As you know, data smog. Data is cannot show that very small flow area. Data smog. Also, the information fatigue. Information fatigue. Fatigue means is very sharp and very tired. So information fatigue, data smog, infoglass, these things, for example, of the information overload and anxiety. Anxiety means very angry, something. Also, the other example is cognitive overload. Oops. Cognitive overload. Cognitive means known. Cognitive overload. These examples is information overload or anxiety. So you have to overcome these things, but it's very difficult. If you meet the data smog, how can you decide? How can you using the data? So did you heard that? Too much to read. Too much to read. What's me? Tremendous information or tremendous data in the world, in the society. Too much to read, too much to massage, too much to reading, something. There are too much to read. How can you escape or control or overcome these things? There are lots of recorded information. Sometimes it's at the same time. Sometimes very pushed to them us. These things is information overload. How do you overcome these things? For education, or government, home life, for leisure, studying, citizenship, all of them. How do you affect it, the whole of society? Is your thing. And the other negative things is information anxiety. Information anxiety is a closely related issues described as something ever widening gap between what we understand and what we think we should understand. What's the meaning of this information anxiety? Okay, I'll give you some information to you guys. And some people get 100%. Some people get only more 50%. Why is the gap to understand? Even if I give to same word, same time, same information. This is only for individual ability? No. So, because it's there are many reasons in there, but how do they understand or approach methodology? So these things is very difficult to define information anxiety. But finally, the conclude is after class, leaving this classroom, you guys 50% information from me. Some guys is 70% information from me after class. Depends on you. Depends on you. I don't know. That's why they define information anxiety. Very interesting, because it's why I don't understand them or something like that. Okay, let's summarize this information society. We are generally agreed that we live in the information society, as you know. But there are no general agreement about exactly what this means. Other than information is somehow central to the way the society works. Society is very difficult or complex, connected in society with information. Also, the very variety of theories, invoke theories, politics, economics, occupations, roles, networks, communication, knowledge, and abstract theory. These things complex, the mixing. It is also probably best understood in terms of the combination of these. Even if it is separate affected that, but these things is complex, and then to affected me. So how do we using and how do we understand? This is future's homework thing. So information society is a concept with no single agreed definition. As I said, it may be understood in a number of ways, express the theory or framework. Even if we define some researchers, but we accept, understand in a number of ways. There are many kinds of ways to understand them. Also express the theory and framework. So society, information society has existed for as long as there have been recorded information. But modern information society has been the digital technology. So it means moving to hyperhistory and online system. So I said it's document, network. Now it's confusing using the approach methodology. So the final, we review the information anxiety or information overloaded means there are many perceived problems of information societies, including information overloaded, information poverty, and digital divide, information anxiety, something like that. But the final answer is the idea of information society is closely related to other concepts: network society, knowledge society, information economy, also post-industrial society. These things is joined, combined, and then affected our information society. That's the conclusion. Okay, this is all thing today, class. Any question? Okay, thanks for coming today. We will see you next week. Okay.